F1, the pinnacle of motorsport. We're less than half of the way through the season and have already gone up from 6 to 7 rookies on the grid, and every one of them has crashed at some point. It's been so spicy this season, I can't wait till halfway through like I planned, or this is going to be the length of a Netflix documentary, and I'm not pretty enough for that. We've had crashes, team changes, reserve driver takeovers, and the inescapable opinion of Helmut Marko to keep up with. So stick around to find out who clinches the top spot and who might be heading back to reserve driver hell. We've got the categories sorted, so let's play our favorite game, tier list a bunch of 20-year-olds like they're Pokemon. Let's go.
Mom, I don't know.
An engineer.
Mom.
Starting at the bottom, we have a rookie debuting on a top team.
I'd really like to give it a try.
I don't know, Marge. Trying is the first step towards failure.
Well, not really a rookie. Liam Lawson's had 3 starts and scored less points than Ollie Behrman did in his 3 races last year. A lot of people were waiting to see him put his money where his mouth was, albeit many were also just rooting against him. Red Bull knows the RB21 is hard to drive, and at the time, Helmut Marko said they wouldn't judge too harshly until 3 to 5 races in. But after crashing in Australia and failing to get any points in China, they went back on their word and gave the seat to Yuki.
Appreciate you gonna bring it to me as well. Yeah, thanks. Are you serious?
After Liam was aggressively cocky, any fans he had left went from justice for Liam to justice for whoever replaces him.
Stan? Daddy wants to have a little talk, Stan. Stanny boy, I'm coming!
This could have been the best thing to happen to him if he could show that he was consistent in the car he's had 3 years of experience with.
Too old. Job's not finished.
However, Liam has underqualified against both teammates on both Red Bull teams, except Saudi Arabia, where he outqualified Hadjar by 3 whole tenths of a second. Wow, very impressive. Anyway, we started with Lawson because while he did fight his way out of reserve drive hell, he is in F tier for find a new job. I have it written here that there was a Jack Doohan this year, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, he was driving for 6 GPs, had 2 DNFs, and an average finishing place of 17th. That makes him the mathematically worst driver this season.
We're all settled. I just need to do a quick conversion because beer has a 5% alcohol content and rosé has a 12% alcohol content.
Watching a woman do math scares me.
But he did win the Lego race at the Miami GP, so he'll always have that. One of the shortest and least memorable F1 careers to be had, and yet he still was in the sport long enough to piss off rabid Argentinian sports fans.
I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all! Yeah!
Argentinians can be wonderful people. Their sports fans, however, have given them a bad rap across multiple athletic associations. A satire F1 news account posted a story acting as if Mick Doohan of MotoGP fame was mocking Colapinto's qualifying crash after replacing his son on the Alpine team.
Get off my kid! Hey, get off my kid! Get off of my kid! Hey, get off my daughter's husband!
The rabid fans set upon the Doohan family online, discovered Jack's personal email address, and threatened him to the point that he hired additional security around the clock during the Miami Grand Prix.
We're going to war. We're going to war.
Colapinto had to tell his fans to back off and acknowledge that they had gone too far and reassured Doohan that this had not been with his permission. Although this may not be the end of the drama between these two, Jack will be Doohaning whatever it takes to get that seat back. Fabio Briatore will definitely be using the threat of Doohan against the other drivers, but he's going to need a new seat for next year. Speaking of Colapinto, a pretty rich white Argentine with a passion for racing, I'm sure there's no dark family secrets there. Colapinto started 9 races last season, replacing Logan Sargent. Just on the aside, we Americans don't claim Sargent. He grew up in Europe, and I'm 90% sure that was just a stage name to drum up fans. Anyway, Colapinto must have felt like he was just spinning his wheels after getting demoted back to reserve driver ahead of this season.
You're fired!
Thanks to Doohan, probably the last time we'll hear that name on any F1 channel.
That's why no one will remember your name.
He got another chance and has finished 16th, 13th, and 15th. Worse than any race he finished last season. Briatore has already threatened his job to the media. Like, dude, give these drivers some breathing room. It's just an Alpine. Given limited results and knowing what a mess behind the scenes must be, we will place Colapinto into the D tier for reserve driver hell. If anything happens to me, check Argentine and the Axis powers. I cannot decide on where to place Bubbles.
Bubbles. That fine.
Hola.
He spent 1 year in Formula 3 and 1 in Formula 2, winning both, and was McLaren's reserve driver last year.
Who would take the last shot?
Me. That's a dumb question. Me.
I know whatever joke I try to come up with here won't be as good as the joke that Kickstall did this season. They hired Ferrari's lead strategist, Ignacio Rueda.
What is he going to be doing? Leclerc's in. It's a Ferrari double pit stop. They're going for slicks.
I'm sure that'll help. He kind of reminds me of Alonso. Speaks beautiful Spanish, handsome as hell, and makes terrible career decisions.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Deciding to sign with Saub shows serious impaired judgment, and actually kind of knocks him down a little. No one's saying you should pull a Lawson, but sometimes being a reserve driver on a competitive team is better than letting last place kill your career. That and anytime someone accidentally spills half a bottle of water on the track, he crashes.
Gabriel Bortoleto into the wall, into the gravel, and to bring out the red flag that will conclude the session.
Hi, crash. Okay.
He did have a beautiful overtake here at Monaco and immediately got pinned into the wall by Antonelli. It was hilarious to see live. Kit got an upgrade package this weekend. Hulky was able to finish 6th by the team using Bortoleto to create a larger space between him and Gasly. We're definitely going to have to see him develop more before landing any higher than C for Cortoletto. Oliver Behrman was a Crimean Jedi Master who served on the Jedi High Council... Oh, sorry, wrong pencil neck. Last year, Ollie did a fantastic job subbing in for Carlos Sainz while he was getting an appendectomy to increase his race pace.
I said, mate, if you want to get your appendix removed this winter, do it, because there might be a 10th in it. Eh?
He hopped in a Ferrari and fought forward to get 7th place in his first ever race. That plus 2 fill-ins for Haas means he had 3 races under his belt before his official rookie season started.
Goes, I ain't a rookie.
People were expecting big things from a kid who just failed his driver's license test. Him and Antonelli are the 3rd and 4th youngest drivers to start an F1 race, the highest on the list to actually finish them. Ferrari's interest in the skinny brother to the Pillsbury Doughboy makes sense given what he's shown on the grid thus far. He just needs a PR person to give him a personality. Anytime he doesn't have his friend Kimi next to him, you can tell he feels a little awkward, and his interviews with Ocon have shown he is sheltered, to put it nice. Speaking of him and Ocon, he actually had a faster best lap than Ocon at the Spanish Grand Prix last weekend and has outqualified him in China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and the aforementioned Spain.
Look at me. Sure. I'm the captain now.
Consistency seems to be more of a problem for Haas in a general sense than any one team member. But what Behrman has shown in less than 10 races this year shows he is definitely top team ready, or B tier. As for Alonso, we only have Fernando Alonso here. Holy shit, I didn't know Spider-Man was a Formula 1 driver. Starting our top tier, Antonelli finished 4th in his debut at the Australian Grand Prix, giving him the 4th best debut in F1 ever. The only better result for a first race are Giancarlo Baghetti winning the French Grand Prix in 1961, Jacques Villeneuve qualified first but finished 2nd at the 1996 Australian Grand Prix, and of course Hamilton's 3rd place win in 2007 at the same place. This had to be the moment Toto was creaming his pants, his own little Verstappen or Hamilton that he had molded from the development team all the way to the top. The extra media attention may have annoyed the grid TikTok queen.
Oh,
Okay. 8 hours. I was, yeah. The Monday was 14 hours.
But his adorable face and bromance with Behrman has made him a fan favorite immediately. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a full page of those two on DeviantArt by now, you degenerates. At least they're all legal in like F1 Academy.
I'm going to jail!
but given that he's also the only rookie regularly finishing 6th place, I'd say he's earned that seat. He's showing that he's a competitor against champions. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first S tier, aka future world driver champion. Isaac Hadjar may just be the next driver for the people. Instead of a family member sparking his interest in racing, it was watching the movie Cars as a child.
Rapide, je suis rapide.
While he does not have an inherent sexual interest in McQueen, like some on the track, he did fall in love with the concept of motorsport. He had a solid early career, spending 2 years in Formula 3 and 2 years in Formula 2, getting 2nd place last year, while also being a reserve driver for the Red Bull Formula 1 teams.
Put me in, coach!
However, at the Australian Grand Prix, he crashed during the formation lap and was comforted by Anthony Hamilton. Lewis's dad must have some Midas touch bullshit, because ever since, the rookie's been on fire hotter than Grosjean. You've seen the online posts. He has twice as many points as Yuki Tsunoda and 4 times as many as Liam Lawson. Being on a sister team and only being 2 places behind Antonelli, who has Mercedes, and took Hamilton's spot, means Hadjar's earned his spot as a future world driver champion. 100% guaranteed. No, I will not be taking any questions. Ooh. Oh, red. Ooh.